What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Garuda Gaming. My name is Nick, and I'm going to give you some early damage tips for Final Fantasy 16. So, I actually noticed, I've watched a few videos of other people, just because of like things that I'm personally curious about, like missing items, stuff like that. I might do stuff like that, but this is just something I noticed in a lot of videos. They're talking more about late game, transitioning into late game stuff, where the late game stuff is really broken or super OP. But I noticed a lot of people, they're slandering Garuda, right? Garuda's really strong for the early game, and a lot of people, I feel like, don't utilize her correctly. Like, I was watching an Asmongold video where he was talking about, well, I don't really like Garuda. I'm probably going to switch right off of it. The early game, this is a super, super important thing that a lot of people aren't realizing. So, we're going to look at Gouge, right, for example. Gouge, as you can see it, only on the sword side, this is your damage rating, right? On the star side, or the right side, the left and right, we'll say left and right, swords on the left, this is on the right, this is your stagger, right? This is used more for staggering. So using Garuda as more of a util tool than as a damage tool is usually the way to go, right? Now, I'm actually pulled up on a guy right outside of this screen, and I will show you. Also, if you haven't gotten Flames of Rebirth early, get it. This is a really important big damage thing too for early game that a lot of people don't realize. So when you use Flames of Rebirth in a full stagger situation, Flames of Rebirth actually slows down time, right? So when you slow down time, that means the stagger bar also slows too. So when the stagger bar slows, it's putting out a ton, and I'm talking about a ton of multiplier damage. And it just does a ton of damage in general, because it's a very long-lasting ability, right? And then you have Rising Flames, which does a ton of damage too. Personally, I actually prefer using Rising Flames over Scarlet Cyclone. Scarlet Cyclone's good until you get Flames of Rebirth. And I see a lot of people, they'll play with Heatwave. Heatwave's a very good ability. Don't sleep on it. This is a magic counter ability. Now, personally, where I'm at in my playthrough, I'm not really using it as often, and I probably will change that maybe later on, but for right now I'm kind of enjoying the setup the way I have it. So as you see, I have Rising Flames, Flames of Rebirth, Wicked Wheel, and Gouge, right? You can get Rook's Gambit. Rook's Gambit's really good too because it's a physical counter whereas Heat Wave is a magic counter. Now I've noticed a lot of people, since they've seen even I'm one of those people. I watched the Square Enix premiere, and they showed how effective countering is. It is super effective, but sometimes it's not your gameplay style. Like, personally for me, I will most likely do one counter setup, which will probably be later on in the game, when I feel as though I'm going to need it more. This is also super strong too in the early game, right? Aerial Blast is super strong. I don't have it personally unlocked right now, but I do know exactly how it works, right? And look at, it's a 5-star stagger damage ability, right? 5-star stagger. That is a ton. You are going to literally rip apart anybody in stagger. And I'm pretty sure this move also does the same thing as, like, I'm pretty sure it also slows down time the same way that Flames of Rebirth does. So you're going to get a shit ton of damage, right? So, alright, so we're going to go right into the demonstration here. I have equipped the evasion ring just for this, right? I just want to put this guy in stagger as fast as possible. I'm not going to do anything super crazy with him. Alright. He's a little rude. He's a bit of a rude boy, isn't he? Now he's hit 50% stagger. Here we go, Garuda. We switch, we do our Deadly Embrace, pull him down. Free damage. Free damage. Right? This is super free damage. And this is also a nice thing too, when you're in the air, or there's abilities like this, I can keep doing this. Do you see how high I am in the air? Now think about it. What ability, the higher you are, does more damage? Down thrust. Down thrust does a ton of damage the higher you are in the air. So this is really important, right? The higher you are in the air, the more damage you're getting. Alright, now check this out, right? We're going to do Gouge. Multiplier doesn't seem super high. That's okay, right? We're at 120. Now we're at 130. Now I'm going to switch here, do Flames of Rebirth. We're at 150. Bam. That's 13,000. I just melted this guy. He didn't even know what was coming. This poor guy had no idea, right? And look, that's 13k. Now, this is why I say that Garuda is very important in the early game. Now, not only is it good for that, right? Garuda is also good here, whereas we're trying to break this guy from staggering. Right? Now he's in the 50%. I'm going to start just wailing on him with gouge. Look how much stagger damage he took. Alright, he's got to stop moving though. Look how much damage, stagger damage he's at. I'm literally wicked wheel. He's staggered. I took more than half of this guy's HP. Like, this is so much damage for the early game. I know, I'm like backed up on a bush. But I melted this guy. I melted this guy. So please, just because a lot of people are saying Garuda is not as good as it seems, Garuda is very good. It is a very good tree to use because it's more of a utility page than a damage page. Because you're gonna, in this section of the game where you only have the Phoenix abilities and Garuda, using Garuda is really important. And I feel like a lot of people aren't realizing that. So I just thought I would show this quick little demonstration. Do not sleep on Garuda. Garuda is very good, and you're probably going to be using Garuda for a long time until you get probably 4 icons. Because I know just from watching the presentation, you only get 3 slots. So your third slot will most likely be, I think the next one is Titan after Garuda. I'm going to say Titan. Don't quote me on it though. I'm pretty sure it is Titan. But you're going to be using Garuda still in those slots unless you choose to go into the abilities and max out these abilities whereas you can just put them anywhere you want. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, so I just wanted to show you guys just something a little bit different today, whereas I'm doing a guide for this. And I'm not really too big on doing guides because I feel I'm not super confident in myself as a whole for doing guides because I feel like I'm better watching guides than I am telling them. But I wanted to let you know this is a good thing to use for a long time because you're gonna have it for a long time. So make sure you utilize it to its fullest extent, right? And like I said, I'm pretty sure Aerial Blast is also another thing too that you can, I'm pretty sure it slows down time right on the startup, but Flames of Rebirth is a must. Make sure you get this ability. Just make sure you have it because this is such a strong ability. Alright, if you haven't seen it yet, we are doing our own playthrough of Final Fantasy 16 right now on the channel. I will link the playlist actually right at the end of this video, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. We also have a Street Fighter series, Path to Power, which is also going to be coming out. I know we've been doing a lot of Final Fantasy content for like this whole week, but I'm so excited for this game, and I've been waiting for this game for a long time. And I had to do a full week of only Final Fantasy. But we are going to be doing Path to Power too. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out also. My name is Nick from Garuda Gaming. Keep on keeping on. Have a nice day.